What's up, everybody? This is Rich from True Budget EDC and Prepping. Use your gear, lose your gear, because if you're not using it, you might as well lose it. So, today, I want to come on here and do a video that I've been meaning to do. Shout out to Wasted Beer Money, because it was actually his video that he did on a sentimental knife, and I got into that, and then he said, what's the most kind of like, sentimental knife to you? And I figured I'd come on and do one because he actually said something. He like kind of tagged me in it, and I just haven't had a chance because I've been doing the camp nursing thing, so I've been pretty busy. So I apologize for that. So I want to come on here and do a video on what I would say would probably be the most sentimental knife, or one of the most like valued knives to me, I suppose. So I wanted to come on here and do that. So this knife, I did a video on, I believe, a while ago. It's the A.G. Russell Lockback Rancher. So my wife gave me this knife a while ago, and I think there's a couple reasons why it's sentimental and valuable to me. First of all, you can't get it anymore. A.G. Russell stopped making it, so it's not even out there anymore. And if anybody knows anything about A.G. Russell, like there is no secondary market for A.G. Russell knives at all. Like legit, I can find pretty much any knife anywhere at a dealer, even if it's like discontinued for like years. I can still find it, right? Not A.G. Russell knives. A.G. Russell knives are just, people get them and they keep them and they never sell them, and that's just how it is. And they have probably one of the best warranties like in history. So if you have a knife and 20 years from now this knife breaks, and seeing that they don't make this knife anymore, I can send it to them and say, hey, this knife broke, and they'll send me one of equal value. So, or if it's still being made, they'll send you the same one, no matter how long it is, as long as you have the package that it came in, the invoice that came with it, and the information, stuff like that. So I do have all that information. If anything ever does happen to this, I could send it back, but I won't get the same knife. So that's one of the reasons it's valuable to me, because it's an A.G. Russell. And I kind of like admire A.G. Russell. He died a few years ago. He's like he was like 85, 86 years old. And he was in the knife industry for like years and years and years. Like, I mean, since like he was like 19, who knows what, right? He was 9 years old when he first started making knives, and he designed knives, and he worked with famous knife designers, and he made the first catalog like where they sold knives on to people in the mail and stuff way long time ago in the 60s. And he just did a lot of stuff for the knife industry, and a lot of stuff with people in the knife industry. So he's kind of an iconic person. And like I said, he passed away a few years ago, like 2018. And he kind of is like that old guy, with a knife. It's kind of cool, you know what I mean? So the dude has a ton of stuff on the website. So if you go to agrrussell.com and check it out, he's got a whole bunch of stuff just on his website alone. His story is on there, the history about him and how it started and all of that, so that's cool. And then also he has a knife encyclopedia, and a lot of the stuff that A.G. Russell said, I took from him, because he knew what he was talking about. The guy was designing knives or in the knife industry for over 75 years, so 3/4 of a century this guy was involved with knife making, knife designing, and the knife industry. So the dude knew what he was talking about. So I always say, 57 to 59 HRC is more than adequate for EDC purposes, and I got that from A.G. Russell. He said anything harder than that is like pricey knife stuff, or whatever you want to call it, like high-end steel. And he said you don't need high-end steel for EDC, and I absolutely 100% agree with what he said. And the dude knew what he's talking about. He's around the knife industry a lot longer than I ever was, or probably ever will be. So that's why I take his word for what it is. You know what I mean? So this literally knife costs like 65, 70 bucks. It's 8CR. And people are like, what? You spent all that money for 8CR? Yeah, you know what? I did. Well, I didn't. My wife did. But whatever. It's the designer. It's who made it. It's, the name. So really you're paying for the name, the A.G. Russell, and the quality. And even though he switched his production over to, Asia and overseas, it's still excellent quality. It still really is. And he actually said that, he tried to make knives in America for a really long time. He did. And now he can't, because knife makers in America, the people who are OEM and manufacturers and all of that stuff, are charging so much money to set up and tool the knives that he's asking them to make. He would have had to sell every knife for $250. So for all you people who want stuff that's made in America, America's raping you. And that's what they're doing. So that's why people are buying imports, because any company, usually in America, that's selling knives, American made, are charging triple the price for the same quality or less. So that's, you know what, it's disgusting. The country's doing it to itself. I try to buy everything else American. I try to buy American knives too. Like, this is American made company, the Gondek EDC, this Log and Jotter is American made company. You know what I mean? I try to buy stuff from other companies outside the knife industry that's American made, because the knife industry, it's killing itself by triple charging and raping its own customers. So unfortunately that's how it is, and unfortunately that sends people to other OEMs and other manufacturers overseas. So I love this A.G. Russell knife, partly because my wife gave it to me, partly because it's an A.G. Russell knife and the history of A.G. Russell and all the knowledge he had. So that's why I would say that it's you know, it's sentimental and important to me. Also, my favorite slip joint pattern is a sod buster, and this is A.G. Russell's take on the sod buster, and this is effing awesome. I mean, it's got a wide drop point blade, it's got this fuller, it's an awesome. I would have loved it more if it was a slip joint, because I like slip joints, but hey, what are we gonna do, right? So I'm gonna take a weight on it. It's super light. It's not even 3 ounces, it's 2.22 ounces. Like, it's super light. It's HCR. It's about 6 3/4 inches, and the handle's made out of ebony Delrin, so it's a composite material. And this thing is super smooth. I mean, there's no transitional issues. This is probably one of the smoothest knives, I swear. Like, you can't even feel that shield or that pivot. It's crazy. And the deep carry pocket clip is awesome. You can switch it over. It's a rollover clip, I call it, because it goes from one side to the other, so you don't even know that's in your pocket. In and out, super easy because it's so smooth on both sides. So it's a really awesome knife, and you know, there's a number of reasons I like it, and there's a number of reasons why I say what I say, and part of it is because a lot of the stuff that A.G. Russell said. So when I'm always like, I'm not really big into, you know, super steels, because any knife, you know, whatever, if you know how to sharpen. I know people are like, well, you know, 150 440C. Oh, I mean, I'm sorry, 154 cm, because 154 cm is 440C. So you pay, here's another thing with American Industries, 154 cm is 440C modified because it's got more molybdenum. So you're gonna spend, you know, way more money on that when you can get 440C for way less money, and they're basically the same. So, hey, and people say, well, you know, I can get 154 cm to a razor sharpness. You know what I can do? I can get this to a razor sharpness. You know what I can do? I can get carbon steel to a razor sharpness. I know how to sharpen, so I can get anything to a razor sharpness. So I'm not gonna spend triple the price when I can sharpen stuff by hand on a stone or on that brick that's over there if I had to. So yeah, that's why I like this knife, and I like the history about it, and I like what A.G. Russell is about, what he had to do, and that he's iconic. So that's one of the reasons that this knife is so sentimental to me, and it's just cool. You know, it just sucks that this is, you know, you can't buy it anymore, but it is what it is. So that's the A.G. Russell Lockback Rancher. That's why it's sentimental to me. And also, I wanted to challenge everybody out there. I just saw Factors of Jack, another awesome channel. Wasted Beer Money got me to do this video, what's sentimental to me, and then Factors of Jack is another really good good YouTube channel. He's got a lot of stuff going on over there. Go over there and check him out. But his challenge was, he didn't really make it a challenge, but he said he carried a knife for 60 days. So 60 days is way too long. Like, I don't think I could carry one knife for 60 days. So I'm challenging everybody to carry one knife for 30 days. So today is July 1st. I'm going to carry a knife till the end of July. So 31 days, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So the knife I'm going to carry is the one that I got in the mail, the Rough Rider Classic Carbon Sow Belly. Now, I had a lot of problems with this knife, and the shield fell out, right? And I'm like, I finally ended up calling him, because I was like, you know what? Seriously, I had all kinds of problems with this knife. I couldn't get it to open. I finally figured it out, oiled it, got it to open, and now the shield falls out. And seriously, I told the lady, I was like, I'm not trying to be a Karen. I was like, but it's like one thing after another with this knife. And if I could have found the shield, I was like, I would have glued it back in and just kept moving. But I work at a camp as a nurse right now, and I have no effing idea where that shield is. I didn't drop it. I didn't do anything to it. It was in my pocket. It literally fell out. So I basically just put some glue in there, and so it's a little bit smoother, so there's not a big divot there. And basically the lady was laughing because I was like, I'm not trying to be a Karen. You know what I mean? And she was like, you know, we'll send you a new one. Don't worry about it. She goes, but what I would do if I were you is carry this knife that you have, even though, you know, the shield fell out. She goes, you can still use it, right? I'm like, yeah, I got it to open and stuff. She goes, keep it as a beater, put the other one away. I was like, there you go. So I was like, sweet. So SMKW is sending me a new one, but I'm going to keep this as a beater, like she said. So I'm going to carry this to the end of July. So if you guys are going to get in on the challenge, comment below, you know, what you're going to carry, if you're going to do it, if you can do it. Let's see. I don't even know if I can do it, but I'm going to try. So that's the challenge. Pick a knife, carry it to the end of July, 31 days. All right, let's see who does it. So my carry today actually is this knife. This Nightcore tube I've been carrying for a while. I just wanted to see how it is. This is the V2. Like I said, I like the other one better, but the other one's the Claris MI2. I think that's the MI2. And I like the other one better because the light actually is white. But I've been using this one just to, you know, see how it is and everything, and it's pretty decent. I mean, the only thing that I like about this is the overcharge protection, because yesterday, literally the reason I like it is I plugged this into charge and I walked away and forgot about it, and it shuts off, and I'm like, that's the only reason I prefer this one over that one, is because of that, so I don't kill the battery. But you know, whatever. I just got to pay attention when I plug that one in. So I'm carrying this for a little while, see how it is. I've been using it to look in kids' throats to make sure, because a lot of people have sore throats, allergies, and all that crap. So it's pretty decent for that. Carry that today. I got the Parker pen. This is the Vector. It's pretty decent. I mean, it's got this metal right here. It does, the whole tube isn't metal, but plastic and metal. It writes really good, pretty decent. So that's the Parker Vector. Got the Log and Jotter notebook. Usually they tell you what date this is. I think this is April. I'm not really sure, but this is one of the ones from April. So this is Log and Jotter notebook. And then I got my Gondek EDC pouch full of a bunch of stuff. I got some Band-Aids in here. I got a sod buster. I got a lighter. I got a Coast G22, a pocket pen, and a little tiny Right in the Rain on the go tablet. So that is what I have in this, and this is in my cargo pocket. And that is all. Oh, and the hank, actually. The hank that I have, my mother-in-law made. She actually made it for me for Christmas. So she made a whole bunch of hanks for me, and this is one of the ones she made, and it's pretty super cool. And she was like, it looks like shit. And I'm like, no, it's super cool. I was like, I like it. So that's value. That's another sentimental thing, because she made it for me. You know what I mean? So I don't think it looks like shit. Even if it did, it wouldn't matter to me, because she took her time to make something for me. And to me, that's great. I honestly have my kids, and when they make, I'd rather have them make stuff for me instead of going buying stuff. It's just, it's more important, more valuable, because they literally took the time and to put the effort and the thought into it to make you something by hand, you know, and that's so much like more thought goes into that than having to go out and just say, oh, here's a Dunkin' Donuts card or something, you know what I mean? So that's pretty important. So this is Hanks by Nancy. My mother-in-law's name is Nancy, so that's what I call it. I call it Hanks by Nancy. So that is the hank that she made, and this is the stuff that I got, and this is a knife I'm going to carry till the end of July, 31 days. So if you're going to try to get in on this challenge, comment in the comments below, man, and let me know what knife you're going to carry for 30 days. You guys have a good one.